My journey into the universe didn't start with a telescope. It began with a book. I remember tracing the letters on a page, marveling at how these small, strange shapes could hold entire worlds. They were symbols, yes, but they were also portals. Each word I learned was a new key, unlocking a new door in the vast library of human knowledge. I would spend hours looking up the origins of words, their etymology, discovering how a term for star in one language was related to a word for light in another. It was my first taste of the interconnectedness of all things, a cosmic web woven not of gravity, but of language. This love for words, for the stories they tell and the ideas they carry, has stayed with me. It's the same curiosity that drives me to look at the stars. When we gaze at a distant galaxy, we are reading a story written in light, a story that has traveled for millions of years to reach our eyes. And when we build machines to understand that light, we are creating a new kind of language. Today we have artificial intelligence, complex algorithms that learn and communicate. In these systems, I see a mirror of ourselves. We are teaching silicon and electricity to do what we do best, to use symbols to make sense of the universe. This journey, from the simple act of reading a book to contemplating the language of AI, has shown me a profound truth. Language is not just something we use, it's something we are. It is the operating system for human consciousness. It is the software that allows us to process the universe, to ask questions, to build models, and to share our discoveries with others. Without it, science would be impossible. Art would be silent. Civilization itself would crumble into a collection of isolated minds, each trapped within its own silent, unshareable experience. The story of language is the story of us. We often think of science as being about numbers and equations, about telescopes and microscopes, and it is. But beneath all of that, at the very foundation of our quest for knowledge, lies language. It is the tool we use to formulate our hypotheses. It is the framework we use to build our theories. It is the medium through which we debate, refine, and ultimately accept new truths about the cosmos. Every scientific paper, every textbook, every lecture is a testament to the power of words to shape reality. Our entire scientific enterprise is a conversation, one that has been going on for centuries, across generations and across cultures. Across countless cultures and throughout human history, there is a recurring, powerful idea. It is the idea that creation itself began with a sound, a vibration, a word. The ancient Greeks called it logos. This wasn't just a spoken word, but the very principle of order and knowledge that underlies the universe. Think about it. In the beginning was the Word. This is not just a poetic phrase, it is a deep insight into the nature of reality. It suggests that before there was matter, before there was energy, there was information, there was a blueprint, a rational principle that allowed the cosmos to come into being. This concept of a creative word resonates with what we are learning about the universe today. The laws of physics, the mathematical constants that govern the expansion of space and the formation of stars, can be seen as a kind of cosmic language. They are the rules of grammar for reality. These laws are consistent, they are predictable, and they can be expressed in the language of mathematics. It is as if the universe itself is speaking to us, and our job as scientists is to learn its language. The logos is the inherent logic that makes the universe comprehensible to us in the first place. This idea empowers us. It means that the universe is not a chaotic, meaningless void. It is a structured, ordered system, and we have the key to understanding it. That key is language. Our ability to use symbols, to create abstract concepts, and to build logical arguments is what allows us to decode the secrets of the cosmos. We are not just passive observers of the universe. We are active participants in its unfolding story. We are the part of the cosmos that has become self-aware, the part that can look back at its own origins and ask, how did all of this come to be? The power of the word is the power of creation. When we name something, we give it form. We bring it out of the realm of the unknown and into the light of understanding. This is true for a child learning the word moon, and it is true for a physicist coining a term like quark or black hole. We use language to carve up the world, to make distinctions, to build categories. This act of naming is an act of creation. It transforms our experience from a confusing blur of sensations into a structured, meaningful world. The Logos is not just an ancient myth. It is a living principle that we enact every time we speak. How does this incredible power of creation begin? It starts with something remarkably simple. It starts with the building blocks of language, the very atoms of meaning. Think about the alphabet, a small collection of symbols, just 26 letters in English. Or consider the sounds our mouths can make, the phonemes that form the basis of all spoken languages. These are the fundamental particles of our linguistic universe. On their own, a letter like A or a sound like K means very little. They are like individual protons or neutrons, waiting to be assembled into something more complex and meaningful. From these simple letters and sounds, we build words. A word is a magical thing. It is a specific combination of these basic units that has been assigned a meaning. The word star is just a sequence of 4 letters, a brief puff of air. Yet, it carries within it the concept of a giant ball of incandescent gas, burning millions of miles away in the cold darkness of space. It connects to myths, to navigation, to the life cycle of galaxies. Words are the molecules of thought. They are the first level of organization where meaning truly emerges, where the abstract symbols begin to point to things in the real world. But we don't stop there. We take these words, these molecules of meaning, and we string them together into sentences. This is where the real power of language unfolds. A sentence is not just a list of words. It has a structure, a grammar. This grammar allows us to express relationships between concepts. We can say, the earth revolves around the sun. This simple sentence conveys a profound truth about the celestial mechanics of our solar system. It describes an action, an object, and the relationship between them. It is a model of reality built from words. Grammar is the force that binds words together, just as gravity binds planets and stars. These sentences then combine to form paragraphs, arguments, stories, and scientific theories. Each level of organization builds upon the one before it, creating ever more complex and nuanced structures of meaning. From a handful of sounds and symbols, we can construct the entirety of human knowledge. We can write a love poem, a legal contract, or an equation that describes the curvature of space-time. It is an astonishing feat of emergence. The simple, meaningless atoms of language combine to create the rich, complex, and infinitely varied universe of human thought and expression. This is the alchemy of communication. Where do thoughts come from? This is one of the deepest mysteries, but we know one thing for sure. Our thoughts are intimately tied to language. Try to think about something complex, like justice or democracy, without using words. It's nearly impossible. Language provides the structure for our thinking. It gives us the concepts, the categories and the relationships we need to build complex ideas. Our internal monologue, the voice inside our head that we hear when we think, is a testament to this deep connection. Consciousness, as we experience it, is a conversation we are having with ourselves. This is because language is not just a tool for communication. It is the very medium of thought itself. It is the operating system of the mind. One of the most powerful features of this operating system is something called recursion. Recursion is the ability to embed an idea within another idea, and another within that, and so on, infinitely. We can say, I think that you know that she hopes that the train will be on time. This nesting of clauses allows us to generate an infinite number of unique sentences from a finite set of words and rules. It is the source of our creativity. This recursive power is what allows for the boundless nature of human imagination. We can tell stories with intricate plots. We can build scientific theories with multiple layers of evidence and inference. We can imagine futures that have never existed and then use language to develop the plans to make them real. A bird can sing a beautiful song, but it cannot sing a song about a song it might sing tomorrow. Humans can. This ability to use language to reflect on language itself, to think about thinking, is a hallmark of our species. It is the engine of our progress. Without this linguistic architecture, our consciousness would be a very different thing. It might be a stream of raw sensations, emotions, and instincts, like what we imagine an animal experiences. But it would lack the clarity, the precision, and the infinite flexibility of human thought. Language is what allows us to step back from our immediate experience, to analyze it, to categorize it, and to share it with others. It is what transforms the chaos of sensory input into a coherent and navigable world. Our consciousness is not just carried by language, it is built from it. You might think that mathematics is a different realm from language. It's all about numbers, equations, and abstract symbols, right? But look closer. What is a number? It's a symbol, a word, that represents a concept of quantity. The numeral 3, the word 3, and the Roman numeral third are all different linguistic representations of the same fundamental idea. Mathematics is a language. It is a highly specialized, incredibly precise language that we developed to describe patterns, quantities, and relationships in the universe. It is the language of science. The pioneers of the scientific revolution, like Galileo and Newton, understood this perfectly. Galileo famously wrote that the universe is a grand book written in the language of mathematics. To understand the cosmos, we had to learn this language. We had to learn its vocabulary of numbers and variables, and its grammar of equations and theorems. When we write an equation like E equals mc squared, we are writing a sentence in this language. It is a profoundly meaningful sentence that describes a fundamental relationship between energy, mass, and the speed of light. It's a cosmic poem of immense power and elegance. This language of mathematics allows us to see the unseen. We cannot directly observe a black hole's singularity or the quantum foam of space-time, but we can describe them with mathematical equations. These equations are our probes, our eyes into realms that are beyond the reach of our physical senses. They allow us to make predictions, to build models, and to test our understanding against the evidence of the real world. Science is a continuous dialogue between our mathematical language and the universe it seeks to describe. We propose a sentence, an equation, and then we conduct an experiment to see if the universe agrees. So, mathematics is not separate from language. It is a child of language. It grew out of our innate human ability to create symbols and to manipulate them according to logical rules. It is language stripped down to its purest, most logical form. Both spoken language and mathematics are expressions of our drive to find order and create meaning. They are two dialects of the same fundamental human impulse: to describe, to understand, and to connect with the reality around us. They are the twin engines that have propelled our scientific journey from the very beginning. The universe is filled with beautiful and recurring patterns. We see them everywhere we look. The spiral arms of a galaxy, the elegant curve of a seashell, the arrangement of seeds in a sunflower. These patterns often follow a mathematical principle known as the golden ratio, or phi. It's a signature of efficient design, a rule of thumb that nature uses to build structures that are both strong and beautiful. This spiral is a fundamental shape of the cosmos, from the unimaginably large to the wonderfully small. It represents growth, expansion, and the unfolding of complexity from a simple starting point. What's fascinating is that we can see a similar spiral pattern in the way language works. Think about how we learn. We start with a single word, a simple concept. Then we add another word, forming a simple phrase. This phrase spirals out into a sentence, expressing a more complete thought. Sentences combine to form paragraphs, which spiral out into chapters and then into entire books. Each level builds upon the last, expanding outward in a spiral of increasing complexity and meaning. A single idea, like love or justice, can spiral out into countless poems, novels, and philosophical treatises. This spiral of expression is not just a metaphor. It reflects the structure of how we build knowledge. A scientific discovery often begins with a single observation, a single data point. This initial insight then spirals outward as more experiments are conducted, more data is collected, and a more comprehensive theory is developed. The theory of evolution, for example, began with Darwin's simple observations of finches and tortoises. It has since spiraled out to encompass genetics, paleontology, and molecular biology, becoming one of the most powerful and far-reaching ideas in science. This parallel between the patterns in nature and the patterns in language is no coincidence. Our minds, and therefore our languages, are products of the universe. They evolved within this cosmos, shaped by the same physical laws and mathematical principles that govern the formation of galaxies and seashells. It makes sense that the way we structure our thoughts would reflect the underlying structure of reality itself. The spiral is the shape of growth, and language is the ultimate tool for the growth of knowledge. It is the mechanism by which consciousness spirals outward to comprehend the universe. Language does more than just describe the world. It actively creates our social reality. Think about the institutions that govern our lives. Governments, legal systems, economies. What are they made of? At their core, they are made of words. A nation exists because a group of people agree on a set of ideas, written down in a constitution or a declaration of independence. These are just words on paper, but they have the power to raise armies, build cities, and shape the destinies of millions. The authority of a government is not based on physical force alone. It is based on the shared belief in the meaning of its words. Consider the law. A law is a linguistic command. It is a set of sentences that tells us what we can and cannot do. The statement "you are under arrest" has a profound and immediate effect on a person's reality It changes their status, their freedom, their future. This power does not come from the sound waves of the words themselves, but from the entire system of meaning that we, as a society, have built around them. The legal system is a vast and intricate architecture of definitions, rules, and precedents, all constructed from language. Without language, there can be no law, only the rule of the strong. The same is true for our economic systems. What is money? A dollar bill is just a piece of paper with some ink on it. Its value is not inherent. Its value is a story that we all agree to believe. It is a promise, a social contract written in the language of commerce. This note is legal tender for all debts, public and private. That sentence gives the paper its power. Contracts, stock markets, corporations, all of these are complex social structures created and maintained entirely through language. They are fictions, but they are fictions that have a very real impact on our world. This demonstrates the incredible performative power of language. Certain words, when spoken in the right context, do not just describe reality, they change it. When a judge says, "I now pronounce you married," a new social reality is created. When a leader signs a treaty, the relationship between nations is altered. This is the magic of language in action. It is the tool we use to organize ourselves, to create order, and to build civilizations. Our shared reality is not something we discover. It is something we collectively write into existence, word by word, agreement by agreement. Who are you? How do you define your own identity? Your answer, whatever it is, will be given in words. We use language to construct our sense of self. We tell ourselves stories about our past, our beliefs, our hopes for the future. This internal narrative is the backbone of our identity. Even the words we use to refer to ourselves, our pronouns, are fundamental to our personhood. They are linguistic anchors in the vast sea of experience, allowing us to declare who we are to the world and to ourselves. Our name, spoken by others, affirms our existence. Language is also the foundation of witness and testimony. When we witness an event, whether it's a car accident or a beautiful sunset, our experience is fleeting. It is language that allows us to capture that experience, to preserve it, and to share it with others. I saw it happen. This simple statement is the basis of our legal system, of journalism, and of history itself. It is the act of translating personal experience into a shared public record. Without the language of witness, we would each be locked in the solitary confinement of our own minds, unable to share our truth or learn from the experiences of others. This act of sharing connects us. Language is the bridge between one consciousness and another. It is what allows us to feel empathy, to understand another person's joy or pain. When someone tells you their story, they are giving you a piece of their inner world. You are, for a moment, seeing the universe through their eyes. This is the basis of all human relationships, from the intimacy of a family to the cooperation of a global community. We are a social species, and language is our primary tool for building and maintaining those social bonds. It is the glue that holds us together. Ultimately, language gives us the freedom to define ourselves and to connect with others on our own terms. It allows us to move beyond the simple biological labels of our birth and to create identities based on our values, our passions, and our relationships. We can be a scientist, an artist, a friend, a parent. These are not just job titles or roles, they are identities that we build and perform through language. In a very real sense, we speak ourselves into being. Language is the loom upon which we weave the intricate tapestry of our individual and collective identities. We have journeyed through the cosmos, from the creation of the universe to the creation of the self, and at every turn, we have found language at the heart of the story. It is the blueprint for creation, the architecture of thought, the engine of science, and the foundation of civilization. All other fields of knowledge, physics, biology, mathematics, law, art, rest upon it. They are all specialized languages, dialects of the fundamental human drive to create order and meaning. Language is the science that makes all other sciences possible. It is the science of sciences. In our modern world, we are often overwhelmed by a flood of information, a cacophony of conflicting voices. It can feel like we are losing our shared sense of reality. But the key to coherence, the path out of this confusion, lies in a deeper understanding of language itself. By understanding how language shapes our thoughts, our beliefs, and our societies, we can learn to communicate more clearly, to think more critically, and to find common ground. The solution to our problems is not less communication, but better communication, grounded in a shared respect for the power of words. The universe is constantly changing. Stars are born and die. Galaxies collide. Civilizations rise and fall. But the principle of language, the impulse to use symbols to create and share meaning, endures. It is as fundamental to us as our DNA. It is our greatest invention, the tool that allowed a species of clever apes on a small rocky planet to reach for the stars. It is the inheritance we pass down through generations, a legacy of stories, ideas, and discoveries that connects us to our most distant ancestors and our most remote descendants. Our quest for knowledge will continue. There will always be new frontiers to explore, new mysteries to solve. But the final frontier may not be in the farthest reaches of space, it may be right here inside us. It is the quest to fully understand the nature and power of language itself. For in mastering this ultimate tool, we master ourselves. By unveiling the secrets of language, we unveil the deepest secrets of the universe and our place within it. The story of the cosmos is a story written in many languages. The language of light, of gravity, of mathematics. But it is our human language that allows us to read it.